I am filming this clip in the daytime. Let me see if I can get some more light in here. Okay, I'm filming this in the daytime because I'm tired of starting my vlogs off at 5 p.m. because I wake up at 3 and I need 2 hours to wake up. I'm tired of like filming my vlog clips at 5 and it looks like I'm filming my videos in the middle of the night because stupid daylight savings. But if I look, sound, and whatever like crap, it is because I finished Hellbent last night. I've never had a book hangover before. I've never had a book hangover before. I've never been one of those. I can really stop the best book of my life and pick up another one. It'll probably be shit. Or I can like stop the best book of my life, pick up another one, and it'll be the best book of my life, pick up another one, and it'll be shit. I'm so used to that. Like, I've never had a book hangover. I genuinely had a book hangover. I genuinely, like, the way I slept, the dream that I had. By the way, my dream had nothing to do with like Hellbent, but the kind of dream that I had was just so fucking wild and crazy. I felt like it was in my own, like, Hellbent of my own. So anyways, I'm just filming this clip to start off my new vlog. So I am going to be starting this new like vlog series. I got this idea from Haley Hughes. She reads new releases of thrillers. I don't know if it's like every month, but she does it quite often, and I think that's such an interesting thing. And so this year I wanted to try and do my anticipated new releases of 2022 or 2023. I wanted to vlog my anticipated releases just because I feel like my single videos don't do too well. I just wanted to start my vlog. So the first book I'm going to be reading is Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia for Fairies. I have it on Libby. It came out the same day as Hellbent. I read Hellbent first, obviously, and then I'm going to be reading Emily's Encyclopedia. So I just wanted to come and start my vlog off, tell you guys like my idea. I plan to do one video every month. At the end of every month there's going to be 5 books, 3 to 5 books in every video, probably 5 because I have a lot of anticipated releases, but there are some months where they don't have that many books coming out yet. So as of now, there's some months we'll have 3, but they'll probably all be 5 books, and it'll be a lot easier because I can just do them throughout the month. I think this is the first time I'm doing a vlog throughout the month, and I'm really nervous because I'm like, oh my gosh, what if somebody steals my idea? It's not like some bright new idea, but I'm just so nervous that somebody else is gonna upload theirs before mine and I look like I'm copying or stealing or whatever, even though like it's booktube, like who gives a fuck. And I'm also scared that this will flop because I really do want to do these every month. I think it'll be so fun, but who knows. So we'll see. I want to do more interesting vlogs. I don't just want to upload like a weekly reading vlog. Like, I'm sorry, but I want to do like fun vlogs, but I also don't want to do vlogs where I read for your enjoyment. Yeah, I sound like someone's brother. I probably look like I crawled out of a hole, but we're here and we're gonna get to reading. So okay, so hi. So I want to say 28% into Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies, and I'm not gonna lie, she's a little boring. I don't know what this book is about. This book is about Emily Wilde, who makes encyclopedias for fairies, and she moves to like this small town to do research, and she has like this academic rival, and yeah, there's really no plot, there's really nothing going on. I'm listening to the audiobook, and Monet from Life is Monet reviewed this book, and she was saying how like she would have preferred to listen to the audiobook instead of reading it like physically, or I think she had an ebook or something, but she would have preferred an audiobook, whereas I think I prefer to read it with my own eyes just because it's so boring. I cannot listen to this book. Like the audiobook is not that long, and I was feeling a little weird today. I woke up today and like I woke up at 5 p.m. and I ate and I had my water, but I just still was feeling really weird, and when I was laying down I just kept feeling dizzy. So then I went to sleep and I woke up and I was feeling fine, but like I woke up and I did not want to listen to this audiobook. Like I listened to the audiobook while I was like, you know, falling asleep, and I like to play music while I take a nap. And so I was just listening to music when I woke up, and I was like, I do not want to read this book. Like I do not want to listen to audiobooks to this. I don't like, I kind of just want to watch. I'm rewatching Sister right now, and I just want to like watch something and maybe read the ebook, because I feel like I'll read it a lot faster. And like I think it also has to be like I'm having a hellbent hangover. I've never felt like this reading a book before. Like I was just rereading parts of Hellbent, like, and I'm on my second, like I was on my, I've already reread the book twice, 2 days in a row. I was gonna reread it a third time, but I was like, let's calm down. I'm actually thinking of rereading Ninth House, to be honest. But all in all, I don't want to read Emily Wilde. Like, this book is extremely boring. I do find some of it interesting. Like, the fairy research is really interesting, especially because I've done my own fairy research. It's not something that like I have a degree in. I do want a degree in it, but it's basically useless to have a degree in folktales, because you can't really get a job based off that. But that is something that I'm very interested in. So I've done my own research, and like the research that she does obviously is accurate, like duh, obviously. But the book is so boring. And then there's like supposed to be like this romance between like her academic rival, but like they're not serving, they're not giving. Like the romance is very bland, they don't have any chemistry. It's like I want to love this book so bad, but it's like I just don't see it happening, and I'm like, that sucks. I really don't want to DNF it, because I don't want to DNF my first book of the video, but I also don't want to have to give this book like 2 stars, which I think I might have to. And then it's like, it's supposed to be a series, and like I hope if it's a series it follows other people. No, but it's called Emily Wilde, because I'm sorry, but like she's just not interesting enough to have more books. Like this really should have just been a standalone, because she's not that interested to have like more books about, and there's really no plot yet to have more books on. Like there's nothing going on, she's just doing research. And so I hope they fix that. But yeah, I just wanted to film like my thoughts on this book now, because I probably won't come back until I'm done reading it, to be honest. So okay, so this is me ending off my not my vlog, but ending up my last clip. Basically I ended up finishing Emily Wilde, and I ended up giving it 2 stars. I just found it extremely boring. It moved at the pace of a snail. Like it had a plot, but the plot like was slow, and like most of the book was just saying like fairy facts. And honestly, if you already like are into folklore, it kind of doesn't really teach you into something new. And honestly, even if you read fairy books, it kind of doesn't teach you like anything new really. And the romance took forever to kick in, and like everyone kept saying like it was like a Howl's Moving Castle, but it felt nothing like Howl's Moving Castle to me. Like I feel like when people think of Howl's Moving Castle, they think of like something like cozy, I guess. But like Howl's Moving Castle to me is more than just being like cozy. And then everyone said that like the love interest gave Howl, but to me he really didn't. Like I don't know if like we have different perspective of Howl, but like I think of Howl as like someone like broody but like very kind and sweet, whereas most people, they make someone like broody and then they're like, here's Howl, and I'm like, that's not, it's not Howl. I don't know what fucking movie y'all were watching, but it wasn't Howl's Moving Castle, to be honest. So yeah, it just sucked. I was very bored. And so yeah, that's the end of this, and we'll see what I'll be reading next. Okay, so I am in like this weird area in booktube right now where I kind of like don't want to upload, but I do want to upload at the same time. I don't know, but I am currently filming a vlog for my TikTok, like a crochet with me vlog, and I haven't really been in the mood to read recently. I've just been watching Sabrina. I don't know, like maybe the book I'm reading is good, but I'm not good at reading series, so it's kind of put me in a slump, if that makes sense. But Highly Suspicious and Unfairly Cute finally came in on my Libby, so I'm gonna take a break from Sabrina and I'm going to get back into reading, because it's actually been 2 days since I've read anything, which like that's fine. But I normally read like every day, but 2 days is good. I definitely like needed a break because I've been reading for like every day. I'll read like a book and then I'll watch Sabrina at night. But Highly Suspicious, Unfairly Cute finally came in on my Libby, and I'm so excited. I've been waiting to read this book. Somebody, whoever had this book, was holding it fucking hostage. Like, it's a 9-hour audiobook. Like, it don't take that long to listen to a damn book, but whatever. Because I got the book now, so I actually shouldn't be complaining. Sorry, I have something in my eye. Yeah, I'm gonna start that, and then I think I'm gonna do one extra book for this vlog and then end it, because I want to upload this because I want to start this series, because I am scared. My biggest fear on booktube when I have an idea is that someone else is gonna get that idea and then they're gonna upload before me, and then like it's gonna like look like either I stole their idea, like this is a fucking Bring It On or something, or people are gonna like theirs better than like mine, because that happens to me all the time. Like I'll upload a video and then people will like, somebody else will like, not saying I start trends, but like say I'll upload a certain vlog and then someone else will upload like a similar vlog and then like their vlog will do much better than mine. It's like very deterring. So I have a fear of like having a creative idea but somebody beating me to it, and then their videos doing better and it's not like about like the views or anything, but it sucks when you have like this idea that you think is original, especially because booktube complains about like originality, and then upload something original, nobody wants to watch it. I don't know, so I really just want to get this vlog like started. Okay, so I hope the lighting isn't that bad, but the sun is going down. I've only read like 16 minutes worth of the audiobook, but I already have some thoughts and I really want to share them with you guys. So obviously I've only read 15 minutes, so I don't know like have much to say. Like I'm obviously liking it so far. I had to put the book on 1.8x speed, because when I listen to audiobooks, I usually start off on 2x speed, or like, and then I'll work my way up. Sometimes, most of the time I really don't. Most of the time, as of recently, I just stay on 2x speed just because. But sometimes I work my way up to like 2.5, and if I like really know with the book, then I'll do like 3. But usually when I listen to an audiobook, the whole audiobook is 2x speed. But when I listen to audiobooks that are like, that have accents, I automatically have to start on them on 1.5x speed. Oh my gosh, I was listening to this one audiobook, they had Scottish accents. I literally had it on like the slowest speed ever, because obviously like Scottish accent is like such a strong accent, and I was like, I cannot listen to this on 2x speed. So like, yeah, they have English accents, so I had to put it on 1.8x, which like that's fine. And the male main character is bi, I think. Well, he hasn't really disclosed his sexuality, but he stated that he had a crush on like one of the other guys in his basketball team, and I'm like, okay, period. And they just name dropped the Murderbot series. I love that series, if you guys didn't know. So my only issue is that the person, so this is like a black love book, like both of the characters are black. The person that's doing the audiobook is very clearly white. And I don't know how I feel about that. As long as he doesn't say the N-word, I guess I'm fine. But this is like the opposite of Legendborn. Like one of my issues with Legendborn was that the person, well, it wasn't like a full cast, or like a, you know, like it wasn't like a male and a, it wasn't like a woman and a guy, a woman and a man doing the audiobook for Legendborn. So like it didn't really irritate me all that much, but the person reading the audiobook was very clearly black. So when she was reading for the white characters, it just like made them sound black, you know? Like if I had just picked up this book and I didn't look at the cover, well, if I didn't pay much attention to the cover, and I didn't like look at any fan art, like if I was like in the book community, I probably would have thought the characters were black. I'm not gonna lie. Deja from Deja Book World has said that she thought that one of the characters was black when she read the book, and I definitely can see how you can have that because of like how the audiobook was. And so in this audiobook, the guy so it has like a woman and a man, it has like a girl and a boy, like it's a woman and a man narrator, but I just don't understand why it's a white man. I'm just not, that's not really making a lot of sense to me. Like it's very confusing. But whatever. But they name dropped Murderbot, and I literally had to turn my camera on. I said, yeah, I need to give an update. So that's my update. Okay, so it's been 2 days. I have not read a single thing. I've been in a reading slump. Y'all, I am so dramatic. Like, it's been so long since I've read. Like, it feels like to me because I'm used to reading every day. So I'm sitting here freaking out. I'm like, oh my gosh, like I haven't read it so long. Like, oh my gosh. I was like, I have to do this vlog and I have to do this vlog and I have to edit a video. And I'm like, and then I want to crochet. I want to start my crocheting videos and I'm like freaking out. And then I get on Libby and I have 4 new audiobooks, and I don't like having more than 10 audiobooks on Libby, so I have like 11 now. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I have so many books I need to read, like whatever. But I'm like loving watching Sabrina the Teenage Witch, which is like I'm in my nostalgic era, so I'm rewatching a lot of my favorite childhood TV shows, or just childhood TV shows that I used to watch, because I don't know, the nostalgia heals my inner teen, and it just feels so good to be like watching it and then to think about like the first time I saw that episode, and like, I don't know, very nostalgic. So I was like freaking out. Then I got on Goodreads. The last time I read was 2 days ago. It's not that serious, girl. So I still want to show you my tote bag that I'm making. So this is what I have so far. This is a lot smaller than what I thought she would be, so I'm gonna have to make another. I'm making another tote bag after this, but I'm gonna have to make a third tote bag because I am a big bag girly. I'm a big bag bitch, okay? I love like big bags because I like putting a lot of stuff in it, even though I don't own a lot of stuff. I just like having big bags. But I'm so excited for this one. Like, this already took me 2 days to make, but it wasn't that long. So then the next side that I'm making, I'm hoping I should be done by tonight, and then the straps will be, I'll be making the straps tomorrow. My sleeping schedule was also kind of out of whack. That's also why I wasn't reading, but I fixed it. I woke up at 7 a.m. today to stress myself out, and then I'll be like, girl, you know what, it never was that serious. But yeah, I'm liking Highly Suspicious. I'm fairly cute. Like, I'm actually really liking it. It has a few pop culture references, but I actually don't mind it because it's not like doing too much, and they actually make sense, and like it sounds about right. And like, I feel like to the hit where, like, I feel like my problem with YA sometimes is that the authors don't know what teens do and what teens talk like. But like in this book, the male main character, he had a Finsta, and he was like stalking the main character because, oh my gosh, that was just really good. Tilly Hibbert knows what she's doing. She knows what she's doing. There's a scene where they were like, they go to the school and they were listening at the door together because they was like, why is this door closed? Like, we have an open door policy at our school. So they're like listening, and the teacher opens the door, and the main character, I think his name is Bradley, he catches himself, and then he catches her, like as like an instinct, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And then he's like, what the fuck? So he lets her go, but then he realized that he dropped her, and I was just like, eh. But she ended up breaking her wrist. And so he was stalking her Finsta to like make sure she was okay. And I'm really liking this book. If you don't know what this book is about, it's about these two characters who moms are best friend, and they were supposed to be best friends, but they just stopped. They just drifted apart. And I mean, I haven't really gotten to like what is going on, like the plot point. I haven't really gotten there yet, but like the build up and like the setup of it all is actually like really good. Like, I'm actually like really liking these characters. I like the male love interest, I like the female love interest. Well, and it's like they also are kind of annoying, but I think that that's perfect because teens are really fucking annoying. Like, that's one thing I realized, like, with watching Sabrina the Teenage Witch, or like when I was watching Sister Sister, or like any other show. Like, they are so annoying. Like, I even remember being a kid and watching like That's So Raven and just being like, oh my gosh, she's so annoying. Or like Hannah Montana and being like, oh my gosh, she's so annoying. Like, teens are annoying. I was annoying, so it's like, I think that that's actually like perfect. And it's not like I'm like, oh my gosh, like they're getting on my fucking nerves. I'll just like roll my eyes at 1 or 2 lines. That's what I mean by annoying. Like, I don't want people to be like, oh my gosh, you think teens are so annoying. I just think that they're very dramatic. Like, you know, like they just like, it was never that serious. Like, they just say something and you just like roll your eyes at like that. And I just think that Tilly Herbert is like a really good writer. Like, I've never questioned her pen, but I'm just always reminded of how much a good writer she is. And this book has like my favorite Wattpad trope that I used to love back in the day. That's why I was excited to read this. Like, I think if I didn't know the tropes, I probably would not have picked up this book just because it's a YA romance. But I am learning that like YA black romances serve. I'm not gonna lie. Especially after loving Confessions of a Alleged Good Girl, I realized that I do like black YA romances. So, but this book has my favorite YA trope, which is when the guy and the girl used to be best friends, but they stopped being best friends for some reason, and then like they like come back together. Okay, so I finished Highly Suspicious and Unfairly Cute, and I am giving it a 3.5 star. I really liked it. Like, it was a really cute story. There was just like, it obviously wasn't a 5-star read, like, no offense, but there was just something missing for me to give it 4 stars. Like, I don't know what it is, but there was just something there. I was like, and I feel like they confessed their feelings for each other too early. Like, around 60%, sorry, I'm out of breath. 60% they confessed their feelings for each other, and then they were like in this weird limbo from then until like the last 95% and 90%, I would say, and I just wasn't feeling it. Like that little chunk, that like 40% chunk, was just them trying to figure out, like, once they were like realizing they were in love with each other and how they're going to tell the other person. And I don't know, like, it just, I felt like everything like moved a bit too fast. I mean, it made sense, they were childhood friends. Like, I'm not like the men in love makes sense. It's just like how I like my stories paced. It just moved a little bit too fast for the amount of pages that it had, and I feel like if it was gonna move that fast, it should have been shorter. Not saying it needed to be shorter, because, you know, any other time I'm like, oh, this could have been shorter, this could have been taken out. No, the book length was completely fine, but I'm just saying everything moved a bit too fast for me. And the pop culture references did get old. They weren't like annoying, but I was just like, all right, let's move on from here. But I really like the characters. I love both of the characters. I thought they were very interesting. They had a lot of personality outside of each other, and I liked how like this book had a plot outside of the two of them. So I do like the story. Like, it was, I do recommend it, because for sometimes when you rate a book 3 stars, people just think you absolutely fucking hated the book or something, and I'm like, no, 3 stars just okay. Like, the book was fine. It just wasn't like an absolute favorite. Like, I really like it, and I hope to get my hands on it someday, but I just am not like, oh my gosh, this is a favorite book of the year. And my rating could change in the future, because it was a really good book. I could see me changing it to 4 stars in the future after I like sit on it for some time, but like as of now it's like a 3.5. So yeah, not fixing my hair for you guys. Like, I'm sorry if my hair doesn't look that bad. I thought it was gonna look crazy. I'm trying to like figure out what to do with my hair, because my hair isn't like that long, so I can't put it in like a pineapple. And I don't like having my hair in buns. And I lost my bonnet. I have 2. I lost both. I have 3, actually. I lost all of them. I think I gave one to my mom. She might have stole my other one. I don't remember. But I cannot find my bonnet. I don't know where it is. So, but I have silk pillows, so it's fine. But I don't know what to do with my hair, like, these days, now that like I don't really, I'm thinking of braiding my hair, but also I've been crocheting, so I don't want to give myself carpal tunnel, so I'm gonna wait on that. But anyways, I am reading How to Sell a Haunted House. I did not want to read this book, mainly because it's an ebook, and I have not read a physical book or an ebook in days. I have not read a romance book all month. Highly Suspicious and Unfairly Cute was actually the first romance book, like full romance book, I've read all month, and I have not read an adult romance book in like forever. I don't really know what the fuck I'm reading, because I haven't really been reading fantasy either. But yeah, I'm starting How to Sell a Haunted House. It's like fine. I'm on chapter 3. Her parents just died, and she just like introduced her brother. I'm gonna try to read like 100 pages, and then I'm gonna listen to my audiobook that I have, because I have a bunch of audiobooks. Like, all of my Libby's like audiobooks came in at once, and I don't like holding the line up, and I also don't want to lose these audiobooks, because some of them I have like a few days left on. So I'm just gonna like start some books and see how it goes. I just hope I don't get into a reading slump, because this month, reading wise, after I read Hellbent for the 3rd time, I'm just like, that's all I really want to read. Like, nothing else is comparing. But I think what really fucked me up was I was reading the Bear and the Nightingale series, well, the Winter Night series, and that series is just not for me. Like, I liked the first book, but like once I got to the second book, I kind of like, well, I wasn't like loving it, and I continued on thinking I would love like the last book, but I was just bored out of my mind. So I'm kind of coming upon a reading slump. This is about How to Sell a Haunted House, and I'm telling you things that you probably don't give a fuck about. But yeah, How to Sell a Haunted House. Um, I'm gonna try to get 100 pages into it for now, just because whenever I know a book is like 400 pages, I'm like, oh my gosh, I do not want to read this. So I'll keep putting it off because it's longer than like other books that I typically read. Um, and so I'll keep putting it off. And then, especially because it's not an audiobook. If it was an audiobook, I would have read it already. But it's not, so like I physically don't want to read 400 pages. So I always keep putting off, like even a romance book, I'll keep putting off like books that are 400 pages, and then I just won't read it. So a thing that I usually try to do is I'll try to read 100 pages of a book that has 400 pages, so that way I'll have 300 pages left, which is like the length of a normal book. So that's probably what I'm gonna do. And I've been like waking up early every morning. I've been waking up at like 7-8 a.m. and so what I like to do, because it's like 12 o'clock right now, like guys, I love being up early. Like I get so much of the sun, because you know the sun goes down, like in Michigan the sun goes down at like 4 o'clock. I'm not gonna lie, the sun is going down by like 4:30. Like, so usually if I would wake up at 2, I would get like 2 hours of sun, and I just don't like that. But anyways, this is a lot talking about like my life and things that people don't care about. But yeah, I started How to Sell a Haunted House. I'm into it. It's okay. I'm scared that I'm not gonna like it because I don't like paranormal things. I'm not a paranormal girl. I don't really care for like paranormal stuff, but one thing about Grady Hendrix is he always has like topics in his books that I really fuck with. But I just don't feel like I'm gonna care about this one. But I think this one also focuses on sibling relationships, and the main character is an older sister, and I can relate to that one. So I feel like I'm gonna like this story for like the topics that it talks about, like the sibling relationships and things like that. But I think for the paranormal stuff, I'm not gonna give a shit about. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a paranormal girl at all. I'm really only reading this book because I love Grady Hendrix and not for any other reason. Like if this was written by any other author, I would not have picked it up. Like Riley Sager's like little paranormal books, yeah. So I feel like this one might be like a 3-star read. Might, I don't know. I'm not foreseeing this book getting anything more than a 3-star read, simply for the fact that it is a paranormal book, and I do not fuck with paranormal stuff. Not like I'm scared of paranormal stuff, but I just feel like for me personally, I haven't experienced, and I don't want to. Let me put that out there. I haven't experienced any paranormal stuff, so it's really hard for me to believe. I don't know why. It's not that I don't believe in like paranormal or anything like that. It's just I haven't experienced myself, and I don't want to. But yeah, so hey, hi, I am back. So I just finished How to Sell a Haunted House, and I ended up giving the book 3 stars. It was kind of everything I was expecting it to be. It was very paranormal. It did focus on like sibling relationships. It focused on like having like being the older sibling and like having a younger sibling. It like focused on like being an older sister and having a younger brother who can get away with a lot more. And things like that. And I really did like that. I love that Grady Hendrix does that. That's like my favorite thing about Grady Hendrix. It's just like I don't really like paranormal things, and so for me it was just kind of like meh, you know. It was just like completely fine. It wasn't something that like I am obsessed with. It's very unfortunate because this is what I haven't given a Grady Hendrix books a 3-star in such a long time, which says a lot because I gave the final girl support group 4 stars, and everybody hated that book, which you should check out my previous video if you want more on that. But enough self promo. It is Saturday, and I plan to upload this video tomorrow, and I'm actually very excited. I just feel like the January releases were just such like a dud for me, and then like my best book was Hellbent, but I wanted a completely separate video for that one on its own, so there's that. So because I don't want this video to just be 3-star reads and to be complete duds, I actually just got the mysteries of, I want to say Bly Manor so bad. I just got the Mysteries of Thorn Manor, which is a little sequel novella of Sorcery of Thorns, which if you guys didn't know, that is like one of my favorite books of all time. I don't really talk about it as much anymore, but it is still my favorite book of all time. I absolutely love that book. So I'm going to be reading that because I want to end off this video on a high note, because I don't want all of my January releases, I mean, they were all pretty much 3 stars besides one of them, but still I really want this video to end on a positive note, and I want my month to end on a positive note, because I've just been reading 3-star books, which 3 stars are fine, but I've only have 5 3-stars, and 3 of them are one book that I read 3 times. So yeah, I'm very excited for my January, because I'm gonna do this every month, just so you guys know. So I'm very excited for my January video. I have all of my January audiobooks pre-downloaded, or yeah, I have them pre-saved on my Libby, so they should be coming out like in January, I mean in February. So I'm actually very excited for my February ones, but there isn't a lot of February releases that I'm excited for, so that video is also probably just going to be 3 books. I think like once we get like April and May, and March, April, May, those are the ones where I'm going to be doing like 5+ books maybe, so stay tuned for those. But I'm very excited to be starting this series, and I think this is going to be like one of my favorite things to film. But yeah, I'm gonna get started. I am crocheting my first top ever, so I have these these are all the pieces that I needed, so I'm actually done, but I messed up on this one. I wanted the pieces to be a bit bigger, so I'm gonna have to go back and redo this one. And I also am running out of yarn, so I have to go and take one of my old projects and like thread them. I really love this yarn, I'm obsessed with it, but I have to go unthread it. And yeah, so maybe hopefully I'll be able to show you guys what my top looks like once I'm done. I don't know, because this video is going up tomorrow, and I mean I am done, but I move a little slow when it comes to crocheting. This is my first top and I might hate it, but I guess we'll see. So yeah, I'm going to get to reading Blind Manor. It's only a 4-hour audiobook, so it should take me 2 hours, and then I'll be done, and then I can finish my other book that I've been reading, and then I'll be done with that. And yeah, the sun is gonna go. I want to finish this before the sun goes down, but the sun is gonna go down in about 2 hours, so unfortunately the next time you see me will probably be very fucking terrible lighting, but there's nothing I can do about that. Guys, literally fucking guys. Okay, so I'm reading this book, right? And first of all, I'm loving it. If you guys don't know, if you like never watched me, or you don't watch a lot of my videos, or you just don't watch the videos where I mention it, one thing about me is that I get bored of romance books, or like fantasy romance books, or anything with romance once the couples get together, because usually authors don't keep that spark that they had before they got together in like once they like get together, right? Like there are like some books, like I'm not saying all of them, there are some books that do keep that, but like it's very rare to me. So usually when I'm reading a book that has like a couple, like, so that's why like if there's a romance book that has a series and there have like 2, or if they has like more than 2 books about the same couple, I'm usually probably gonna tap out. Or like if it's like a fantasy series and they get together really soon, I'm probably not gonna care about like what's going on with them. I usually care about the romance, right? And so one thing I was worried about when I was reading this book is that I'm like, before I start this book, I was really worried that I was not gonna care about them. And I'm also worried because it is YA, but guys, this book eats, like, I'm sorry, this author, like Margaret Rogerson, eats so fucking bad. Like she knows how to serve. Okay, like they, first of all, Elizabeth and Nathaniel mean everything to me. Like they still mean everything to me. Silas is back. We even have Demon Slayer, which if you guys don't know, Demon Slayer was like my favorite character. And Demon Slayer is an inanimate object, okay? Demon Slayer was like my favorite character in Sorcery of Thorns. I loved all of them, but like I fuck with Demon Slayer, okay? Demon Slayer is literally just a sword. Like no, can't talk, can't do anything. It's just Elizabeth's sword. And I love it, okay? And so this book, like there is like Nathaniel and Elizabeth are serving so bad, like the banter, oh, they're so cute. But what really got me is there's this scene where, okay, so in this book it's basically like they are living in the manor and Elizabeth just sensed that there's something weird going on, and so they're trying to figure out like what's happening, because there is something like weird going on within this manor. I'm only about 47 minutes into it, but like the manor itself is also like, Elizabeth is just, I mean, Margaret Rogers is such a great author. Like in this manor there are certain rooms in this house, and there are rooms that like literally cannot be found. Like Nathaniel was like, oh, there's a ball room in this house, but I just never been able to find it. And I'm like, that is so fucking cool. Like everything about this just gives Howl's Moving Castle. Like whenever someone recommends a book and they're like, oh, like it gives Howl's Moving Castle, it never truly does, except for Sorcery of Thorns. This is what gives Howl's Moving Castle. Okay, anyway, so there's this scene where, now that I set the my head itches, now that I set the mood for you, there's this scene where Elizabeth needs Nathaniel to like open something for her, so he like opens it and she's like, thank you, and he's like, I will get on all fours for you. And like obviously it's a YA book, so it's not meant to be read like that, but it's just like, whoa. Elizabeth, you know how to serve, bitch. You know how to serve, and you know how to serve it well. If this was a restaurant, it would be a 5-star restaurant. Cause oh my god, a fucking serve, okay? Unfortunately, the sun did go down, but it's 5:30 and I finished the book, and I loved it. I gave it 5 stars. I just felt like it was so freaking good. Like it just was everything to me. Like reading about these characters that I have read before years ago and loved, and I feel like making it come out this year was just like such perfect timing, because it felt like, how do I say, it felt like watching, I don't know how to explain it. It just felt, I just feel like it was perfect timing. Like I think I would have still obviously liked it if it had came out like a year after it came out, but I think waiting a little bit, it just felt nostalgic. And it's crazy because it didn't come out too long ago, so it felt nostalgic, and I think I'm a very nostalgic person, so I feel like that's why it hit so well for me. And then we also have like my favorite characters obviously coming back, like Silas, Demon Slayer, Nathaniel, Elizabeth, and the romance being even better, and them feeling more like a family, because like sometimes I feel like in the first book of a series or a standalone, you don't really get like a really good sense of like how these characters are, because you know you are going through a story, but like once they get together the story ends, or like you don't really get to like really see them outside of like the plot. Whereas with this one, it wasn't really a big plot. Like it was like just like a small little plot, and it was just these characters like being together and doing things and trying to like figure out this mystery. And I feel like more books should do novellas like this, like where it's just like, okay, your characters got these happy ending, but this is how they act together after that happy ending. I'm not gonna give you anything too long. I'm not gonna like ruin the relationship, because that's the reason why I don't like when people were like they wanted like a series about Jude and Cardin just being together. I didn't want that, because I feel like that sets up a huge possibility of the characters being ruined. Like I feel like, I think a lot of people don't take into consideration like that these are like authors, and like sometimes authors, like I don't know how to explain it, but people don't really take into consideration that books are like actually written, if that makes sense. And like not every author is like amazing, you know what I'm saying? And so I just feel like this was like the perfect like novella. It was very short, very cute, very fun. It was happy. Now I'm not gonna lie, around the 60% mark it did kind of lose me a little bit, but it was fine because I still ended up loving it. I forgot that these characters, I forgot Elizabeth was freaking 17. And then like another thing is like I was just thinking like the relationship between Silas, Nathaniel, and Elizabeth was like just so amazing. Like if they were a love triangle, they would hit so hard. They already hit, but I'm just saying like if this was a love triangle, oh my gosh, because I love me a good love triangle. I know a lot of people hate them. I love a good love triangle, and I think an amazing love triangle is when all the characters are connected, because it is a triangle. So I feel like this would have just been like so great, and also feel like it would have been great if it was adult. But one thing I do like about this series is, if you don't like YA, you still have a high possibility of like loving these books, because they don't read like YA. Like they actually don't really read like a particular genre, and I think that was Margaret Rogerson's like purpose. And so, because even when I was reading YA, I felt like this one like felt like new adult to me, even though Elizabeth is 17. Um, excuse me. It was just, it was amazing, and I loved it, and I gave it 5 stars. So that is it for this video. Stay tuned for next month to see which one of my anticipated releases I will be reading then, and I'll see you guys in my next video.